Rapid Reaction Sheet.
Welcome, dog fans, and the dogs find a way.
Go dogs
to win a game. Yeah, go dog. 30. Let's say 43-35 in a game that looked precarious all the way. Because they didn't get a stop until the fourth quarter, where they got 3 stops and went on a 17-0 run. And as Smooch always says, we walked them into deep water.
Yeah.
It was later than we suspected it would be. Usually it's after the halftime period. But this took to the fourth quarter. Give Lane Kiffin credit. I'm sure we will break down some deficiencies that we saw defensively that we want to call out, but not for this. Not for this rapid reaction. We're going to celebrate another W in Athens, Georgia, over Ole Miss. Top 10 matchup, 43-35.
Troop, I'm going to say one thing. We've got you just touched on this. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot to get negative about and be honest about during the week. But one thing we know, Troop, this is Gunnar Stockton's football team, period. He solidified himself as a top SEC quarterback. This is his team, Troop. As far as he goes is as far as the Dogs go.
It was so ridiculous. I was on, as we're talking and as we're watching the game and chatting on the dog chat group, and I was on 3, the dog walk, and on the game thread, and there were people in the second half criticizing Gunnar Stockton, saying, "I can't believe we've gotten to this. He is our quarterback." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Do you know what you're watching? You do not." And they were saying the same thing about me. You don't know football. You don't know how to play quarterbacks. You're just looking at the plays. You're looking at the box score. You're not looking at the plays he's missing. And I responded, if you're looking for perfection, there's no quarterback anywhere going to have perfection. But Georgia in this ball game, let's look at Gunnar Stockton's numbers: 26 for 31, 289 yards. That's 9.3 per reception, and 4 touchdowns, a 204.8 rating. He was near perfect. The fact that he missed a couple of guys deep does not change the way he converted. We always talk about quarterbacks moving the chains, and Gunnar moves the chains, makes big plays when they're available. Doesn't make them all, but what a game by Stockton. Lawson Lucky with 3 touchdowns receiving as well.
Right.
Georgia ran for big yardage, Smooch. Let me look at those yards real quick. Running the ball, they had 221 yards rushing to 88 for Ole Miss. Georgia also had 289 yards passing to 263 for Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss played great, but again, when it came to the crunch time in the fourth quarter, he hadn't been there, and Georgia dominated in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you could see him start to choke the ball a little bit in the fourth quarter.
He missed some open passes, didn't he?
Yeah, and when it got loud and the gravity of what he was about to do set in, you did see that. But I'm going to tell you, Troop Brinson, I don't know. We've questioned Gunnar. We did early in the season. I don't know who does now. And I'm not even just talking about those gaudy numbers that you mentioned, the fact that Georgia never turned the ball over in this game. And a turnover is a death nail in this game. It's not that. Gunnar's team believes that if he's on the field, they can win. And that is not something you can buy. It's not something you can coach. If Gunnar's on the field, his team thinks they can win. And that's enough for me. I've seen it. We saw it tonight. This is Gunnar Stockton's team, guys.
Man, what a game. Gunnar Stockton did have a touchdown rushed for almost 60 yards. And when the yards were needed, the conversions were needed, he either did it with his legs or did it with the passing. And Mike Bobo, again, you folks who are missing the whole thing, the thing about the season Mike Bobo's having, I'm sorry for you. He is calling some spectacular games all year long. He is, and it's just easy to say this is a Mike Bobo does this or he does. No, he's called a great game this season, great offense this season, and Georgia did struggle defensively. And I really want to use our next episode in a couple of days to get into what happened defensively.
Yes.
But you just went in advance at this point, and Georgia moves on. You see teams who don't move on. Miami. And they took a loss Friday night. There are going to be some other losses. Alabama, Tennessee about to play now. And these losses stack up. And even in the SEC where the games are so tough and you figure you're going to get credit for your strength of schedule, losses matter. and if you can find a way to win this game, I do think that Lane Kiffin called the game of his life. They had basically 3 weeks to prepare for Georgia, and you saw I'm not giving an excuse to the way Georgia's defense played, but you saw
he went all in on this game. Yeah,
one of the best offensive minds in college football, maybe ever. Yeah. And he was in his bag all game long, and you saw what it did to Georgia. And Georgia made some philosophical mistakes in terms of what the dog show thinks, and maybe that doesn't mean anything. But give credit to Lane Kiffin, and he converted every possession into scores or touchdowns, really, until the fourth quarter.
Right.
And then Athens came alive. The Georgia defense made some stops, and Georgia's offense still didn't blink.
No, they did not. I think that was one of the things that got lost. Lane Kiffin they were scoring every time, but so was Georgia. And then when it matters in the fourth quarter, Georgia didn't take their foot off the gas. They kept scoring, and we saw the deep water just a bit too much for a quarterback playing his first road game in the SEC. It just proved a bit too much.
It did.
And Georgia did have, 2 or 3 deflections late in the game. Those were huge, and it seemed to really rattle Trinidad. But my goodness, you take the win, guys. We'll be here soon to tear it down and talk about what we didn't like and what we were pulling our hair out about. But it's great, Troop. Isn't it amazing to be pulling your hair out in a game that you still win, playing a top 10 team?
I want all you folks to know, even though we seem positive on most of our podcasts, we are pulling our hair out.
Yeah.
If you could read our little text chat, our little group chat, we are picking apart and criticizing everything and thinking, we're calling for some coaches to be reevaluated and some players to be reevaluated. And why do they have these rankings? Because they are not playing well, and not on this level, not at this point. So we're definitely going to talk about that. I think Monday, most likely. But again, let's look at some stats real quick. Gunnar Stockton, 26 out of 31. That's only 5 incompletions, 289, and 4 touchdowns. He also had a touchdown rushing when he rushed for 10 carries for 59 yards. Nate Frazier, 17 carries for 72 yards, 4.2 hard rushing for Nate.
Yeah.
Bowens was back in there, 10 carries for 61 yards. That's 6.1. Very well. And Dylan Bell, a couple of big plays there, 2 for 19 on rushing. McCray for 5 for 13.
And a ridiculous clutch catch from Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell.
Yes. Ridiculous clutch catch from Dylan Bell. Ridiculous 4th down play from McCray, who was stopped and just would not. He wouldn't be stopped.
Only one player on the Georgia roster could have made the play there, and it was McCray.
That was him. It wasn't Cash Jones. It was McCray. So good job, coaching staff. Zach Branch with 8 catches for 71 yards. A lot of big catches, 9 catches, 9 yards per catch. Long was 26. Dylan Bell, of course, you said that. Had that long of 36, and that was a huge one. 2 catches, 57 yards. Lucky with 3 touchdown receptions.
3 touchdowns.
5 for 43 yards. And Depp also had a big game. So the tight ends came back. 9 receptions for the tight end, Smooch, for 85 yards combined and 3 touchdowns.
We noticed, Brinson, in the first quarter or so that they were not paying much attention to the tight ends. And that's apparently what, Kirby's put that on tape. We haven't been paying much attention. We mentioned that, and that's what burned them.
And so I've said this in the podcast. I've said it to people in just passing. Enjoy these kind of wins. Enjoy last week's win against Auburn. Enjoy this win in Athens. These were teams that were poised to beat you.
Yes.
And could have beat you, should have beat you maybe. And in this era of football, be very happy. You got a team that figures out a way to win in the second half or the fourth quarter if need be. And Georgia did 17-0 tonight. It could have easily been a loss. Georgia had to do everything right in the second, in the fourth quarter. Honestly,
zero margin for error.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is not an era of winning by 40 points. It's okay. The currency of winning these type of games and having this resiliency is very valuable.
Come on.
And as the season goes along, you'll see how valuable it is because a lot of teams can't do it.
You're right.
But that's where we stand. The Dogs do find a way, 43-35 to beat. It was 2 Saban disciples, of course, and Kirby did beat Lane tonight, and we are so thankful for it. We're going to have a more in-depth show in just a couple of days where we pick apart exactly what happened, and we can't wait for it. But tonight, enjoy it, celebrate, mix a drink, and have a good time. Watch the Alabama-Tennessee game. Smooch.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs! This has been a rapid reaction from the Dog Show.
Rapid reaction sheet.